ClassicGameRoom.com.
How slow is this goddamn elevator? What's the point?
Dramatic tension.
It's Classic Game Room broadcasting from the Intergalactic Space Arcade, and you know I love it when a game is made just for me. Like this one, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which doesn't work with the Super Action controller, but it is super action-rific and cyber awesome. Before I start laying out praise like RoboCop lays out bad guys, I've got to listen to the music for another moment, which is like 65% of this game. Whoever did the music and wrote Blood Dragon, they deserve awards. The Nobel Prize.
The grenades also respond to the trigger phrase, "Eat this."
Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is not a game I expected to see, but when I heard about it and found our inbox filled up one day with people requesting reviews of it, I thought I'd like it, especially when I saw that Michael Biehn was in it.
Sayonara, sushi! Yeehaw!
And the funny thing is, even before I knew that, I saw the artwork and I was like, oh, that dude looks like Michael Biehn, which I thought was a reference to Metal Gear on the NES when the guy on the cover of the cartridge looked exactly like Michael Biehn. But no, it's actually him, the star of Terminator, Aliens, The Abyss, and many other movies, who lends his absolutely fantastic voice to an even better game. There's a lot of games that try to reference the 80s or 90s style in video games, and few of them really get it, like this one.
I like the part where they blow up.
Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which is kind of a misleading title. It doesn't have a whole lot in common with Far Cry 3 other than it's basically Far Cry 3 with a different look, and a completely different and more awesomer storyline. In a way, it's actually more realistic, because instead of playing some 20-year-old who suddenly learns how to become Rambo, you're a cyber soldier, Rex Colt, who's like the Terminator meets Rambo meets the Karate Kid meets RoboCop. If we look at my movie shelf, the most watched movies that I've owned on VHS, DVD, and now Blu-ray are RoboCop, Terminator, Predator, Aliens, Die Hard. And while I like the Karate Kid, the music from the second one is what I remember most, and it's hard to watch the first one anymore because Elizabeth Shue is just jailbait in that movie. Oh, and Tron, of course, which has a huge influence on this game, as you can probably tell. As well as Army of Darkness, which is technically 90s, but I still got the Hail to the King achievement point or award thing. Anyway, my point is, this game is a parody of all of those movies, and a really good one. It's like Hot Shots Part 2, because that was the better one, in video game form. So if you grew up in the 80s and remember the testosterone-fueled muscle fests, and plots where every other word was cyber, then you're going to love this game. But it's important to note, it is not DLC. You don't have to own the actual Far Cry 3 to enjoy this. You can just download it for your 360 or PlayStation 3 or PC or whatever, and enjoy. It's like a standalone game. And man, I hope they make more of them. In fact, they could just throw the rest of the Far Cry series away for all I care. Just stick with this. It's easy enough to say Blood Dragon is good, but why is it good? Well, for starters, it's really fun. And it'll keep you laughing the entire game. You are Agent Rex Colt, who loses a friend in the beginning of the game in the most dramatic 16-bit fashion possible, who sounds like Max Headroom. Just one of many obscure references. You team up with this chick who looks like Brigitte Nielsen from Rocky IV to fight some madman who's about to unleash the apocalypse on the world, which is already suffering from a nuclear apocalypse. The action and the gameplay is Far Cry 3, which is itself an awesome game. Blood Dragon isn't nearly as large, but it looks like Tron, and it sounds like the music from the Terminator and Predator. I could talk about the music all day. They've got the metal pipe sound from Aliens, the fat synth pads from stuff like Terminator, and the drums or whatever they are from Predator. So in typical Far Cry fashion, you're taking out these outposts, except you're doing it in the most 80s rad rockin' way possible. It's not a huge game, and after a while everything definitely looks the same. And after you win the game and get the kill star, there's not a whole lot to do with it, so I'm hoping they'll allow me to take Rex Colt into regular Far Cry 3 at some point and use the kill star. Behold the glory of this thing. It's like Krull, but better. You know, I think it's fairly easy for writers to use some obvious sarcasm and drop a lot of F-bombs for no apparent reason, but Blood Dragon manages to do that and also be smart and clever. And that'll keep you engaged through the entire game, which is a couple hours to play through, but immensely enjoyable. In fact, I think it's so good that in many ways it overshadows Far Cry 3. And with any luck, they'll continue and take this in its own direction. They definitely left it open for a sequel.
I like mine extra crispy.
So, do I like Blood Dragon? No. I love it. And if you like the looks of this review and can quote Predator from start to finish, I think you'll like it too.
That never gets old. He said blow me, so I did.